Welcome to the Unfuck Your Fitness podcast. I am your host, Christy Castillo, and I'm here to give you real talk and cut the BS so you can actually enjoy building a body you love. I'm a personal trainer obsessed with giving you simple action steps to take you from feeling stuck to feeling sexy. Let's go. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's episode. I'm really excited for this one. I actually started the notes for this podcast yesterday when I was in like this feisty, go get 'em mood. The sun was shining and it was a beautiful day and I was just in this kind of, I was in this certain mood. And then once I got done with the very little amount of notes that I took, I don't even remember what happened with my day, but it fell apart and I wasn't able to record the episode. And I knew all day I should record this right now because I'm feeling it. I'm on fire. Like I'm in this kind of attitude, right? And today the sun is not shining and my body is a little more achy. I feel just tired. So I'm like, it's so funny from day to day how we change our perspective, our outlook, our mental game, whatever it is, right? So funny. But I'm really so excited about the topic that we are going to be talking about today. But before I dive into today's topic, I want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart on all of the messages that I got after you heard, I guess, the 100th episode from last week. I got so many messages just saying congratulations, we were loving your podcast, letting me know what it's doing for you. I mean, you're just like, thank you for even like starting, and it's changing my life, and I'm listening to it on my walks, and I'm getting tagged in so many it's mind-blowing to me. And most importantly, I want to make sure that you know that I truly love getting messages from you, and like each follower I see on Instagram, I know you're probably coming from the podcast, and it just makes me so happy that my community is growing, and each message that I get is kind of a thank you. It's like thanking me for being real and authentic and relatable and sharing my journey. And that coming from someone myself who used to be a little bit, scared of authenticity or scared of judgment, or I had a wall up, I guess, just of like, I don't know how much to share and I don't know what to say and I don't know if anybody's going to care or all the things. So each message that I get is truly like, wow, I'm so glad that I decided to just share authentically, because you're all relating. And like, that's when I get like someone that's following me on Instagram now, I'm just like, I know this is my person. And it's just like seeing this community of supporting people grow it truly is amazing. So I have so many thoughts and feelings around it, but I wanted to say thank you so much for listening to the episode, for all of your sweet messages, for all of the messages letting me know how you found me, and whether you're talking about your struggles or whether you're just relating. Like, I truly, truly appreciate that so much. I got a lot of feedback from last week's episode as well, in the sense that I talked a lot about like my autoimmune issues and my anxiety and depression struggles with that. And a lot of you thanked me for sharing that as well. I got a message saying something along the lines of, podcasts are just kind of cheery these days and they don't dive into, and I don't know if that's true or not because I don't listen to a lot. And actually the ones that I do listen to are not thought-provoking at all. Like, I just want them to be just like shit talk amongst women, honestly, because it's funny and I want my brain to shut down, I guess. And anyway, kind of like a little release. But I know that it's easy to get on social media, and it's probably just as easy to get on a podcast platform and see people, being surface level or just saying, you can do this and show up every day and just make it very, basic. And in reality, I do want to share my struggles, because sometimes I do feel like a fraud showing up saying, show up every day, this shit is easy, you can do it. Never quit. This shit isn't optional, when most days I'm struggling. I want to be real about the fact that most days I'm struggling. So when I tell you it's not optional, I don't say that as in this is going to be super freaking easy. I say that as in I'm struggling right with you, but it's still not optional. So I just really, really appreciate that. Like I said, when I woke up yesterday, I felt so good and optimistic, and I saw something that sparked this in me. It was a post, and let me just even be more transparent. I am pretty sure I am in perimenopause, which I'm not even going to get into a lot of that. I shared something on my stories the other day about the common symptoms of perimenopause, and I'm going to share them today in this episode as well, because I read through them. And this was a couple weeks ago. I saw a lot of symptoms about this, and I'm like, that is me. How am I? Sometimes I mostly like feel like I'm like 20 or something, like I'm still in my 20s. So when I think about like, oh, Christy, you're 42, you could be in perimenopause. That's why your body is feeling so crazy and you just don't understand it, right? But anyway, I woke up yesterday just feeling so good and optimistic, and I came up with this title or this idea of it's not too late to start your fitness journey, your health journey, changing your body, loving yourself, whatever it is that you need to do. It's not too late to start. And then I saw, and I kind of needed to tell myself that. I've been doing a lot of, talking with a couple of friends about my body and fitness and health and my life and how I feel and all the things, and, working through with some of my other like health influencer, whatever you want to say, like someone else in the fitness space that kind of understands these things as well. So I've been doing a lot of thinking about like, okay, what used to work for me is not working for me anymore. And I work on this with my current clients. They will say, I used to be able to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm doing those things now, and it's not working for me. And I can very clearly see it in someone else. I can look at you and you tell me what's going on in your life and your workouts and your nutrition, and you're frustrated, or you think it's too late, or you think you might as well not, or why would it work for you? I can, from an outside perspective, see that like it will work for you. You just have to, tweak these little things and keep going. And like, I'm very good at seeing that for other people. When I look at myself, obviously I am myself. So I don't have that outside perspective, but I've been working on that this week, seeing my symptoms, seeing how I feel, seeing my mentality, writing it down, talking it through. Are they excuses? Are they reasons? Are they valid reasons, but am I milking them more for excuses? Like, what is actually going on? And how do I need to pivot and let go of this past version of myself, physically, mentally, whatever it is? Especially, let's talk about physically, right? In this episode, I look at old pictures and I see myself like, wow, I was really freaking fit and I was killing it and I was lifting super heavy, or I was doing these crazy moves in the gym, and I'm not able to do that right now. And so I'm like, how do I get back to that? And instead of that mentality, I'm going to, and I need to, and this is what I want to encourage you to do, is to pivot. It's time to pivot again. I talk about that a lot, and I've done that a lot in my 15-year fitness journey. It's again time for me to pivot and figure out who I want to be, who I'm going to be, what I want to look like going further. Let go of the person in the past. Thank her. Love that body. So glad that I built that and I worked so hard, and all of the things, and appreciate that. But maybe I can get to, or not maybe, I can get to a even better version of that going forward. So I need to kind of let go of some of those things. And so this episode is really me just kind of telling you what I'm going through, since you seem to love and appreciate that. And it's actually really easy for me to do. And I know it's relatable, and I know this will help you, because this is kind of what all of my clients need to hear and what they're going through as well. But it's not too late to start. And I kind of had that mentality. I might have even said it out loud, or at least thought it to myself, like, Christy, it's not too late to start over and to build a new, improved version of yourself, right? I'm 42 years old. I'll be 43 in May. I've been married to my husband for 20 years. I have an 18-year-old daughter. I have a 15-year-old son. Life is crazy. I'm not the same person, physically, mentally, emotionally, any period at all across the board, that I was 5 years ago, that I was 10 years ago. And going into this new chapter, right? My daughter's going to graduate from high school. She's going to either go off to college or obviously attend college, or her life is about to change. There will be no more high school in her future. That's going to look very, very different. In 3 years, my son is going to do the same thing. So, it's like that. It's like this new life ahead of me when I think about it. Things are really, really changing for me, and I need to take accountability for that, and I need to recognize that, but I can't stay stuck and just say like, I don't know what life holds for me. This is all so different and new, and it's I can't even put it into words what it is right now, actually, what I feel on a daily basis, what's going on in my head, in my life, like just not knowing what is to come for my daughter and what that looks like. And she's 18 and she's branching out on her own. Like, that's insane. And then, having my son who's a freshman and like all of the things that come along with that. What I'm trying to say is just life is pretty crazy, and that's okay, but I can't let that kind of define me and be stuck. Also, how, I was talking about perimenopause, which I've also talked about the autoimmune issues that I have that are undiagnosed. And quite frankly, as I start this new journey into probably some autoimmune issues, probably just some whatever I have going on, like I plan to just kind of dive into my health issues and like, what am I going through? What's happening to me in this stage of life? What am I deficient in? What do I have too much of? What's going on? And I try to regulate and figure all that out. I think a lot of that will kind of figure itself out because I'm very much more self-aware than I was. But figuring out like what your body, like what is going on, it's so crazy. So there is a lot, going on. So let me stop about that for a minute. So I know a lot of you, when I shared this on social media, on my Instagram the other day, I got a lot of messages saying like, wow, I have all of those symptoms, or those symptoms are ridiculous. And yes to all of the above. So let me just common perimenopause symptoms: weird periods, low energy. Listen, ladies, these are insane. Weird periods, low energy, weight gain, anxiety, depression, itchy inner ear. That one, people were like, wait, I have that. What's going on? Sleep disturbances, exhaustion, migraines, low level nausea, joint pain, acne, brain fog, urinary issues, vaginal dryness, thinning hair, hot flashes, frozen shoulder. Like, let's just throw in a frozen shoulder because the rest of that doesn't suck. And then on social media, I wrote moody as fuck because that's another side effect that I have noticed in myself. But lately there's just been, I keep telling my husband, like, something's wrong with me. I don't know what, like, not seriously wrong, but like something's happening in my body where it's just different. Sleep disturbances this last week, I've noticed a lot. Anyway, all of those things, honestly, there's not one of them, maybe one or two. A frozen shoulder, I don't think. Okay, so maybe 3 or 4 of those I don't have. But when I read that list, I was like, okay, yes, that explains a lot of what I'm going through. And yes, I'm 42, so obviously I'm right in that age range, right, of which this could be happening to me. So thank God it kind of explains what's going on. But also, and this is a total side note, why is there not more information readily available on this? I realize I have the internet. I realize all these things, but why is no one talking about, and actually there is this one account that I do follow and I don't remember her name. I need to find her and share her on my social media so you all can follow her too. Because when I shared that, I got a lot of messages from you ladies that were like, this is me, what's going on? Why is this happening? And I'm like, I'm not a specialist on this. I'm just telling you that I'm struggling with this, but every woman experiences these things. And yet no one's really talking about it. Now, I have helped and I work currently with women who are going through perimenopause and menopause and postmenopause. And I'm, as an outsider, I know enough to see, when someone says, hey, I'm going through this or whatever, when I'm working with a one-on-one client, I can very clearly dive into that. But for whatever reason, when it was happening to myself, I didn't see that. So I say that to bring, I guess, attention to the fact that if you're struggling with anything, it's so hard to see it in yourself. You don't see your wins. You only see your losses. Like, we're so hard on ourselves. So take a moment to look at yourself from an outside perspective. And maybe what I plan to do is kind of actually check in. And what I've been doing this week is like, if I had a friend sit down and ask me, how are you feeling? What are your goals? What would you like to feel like going forward? What's working for you? Like, literally asking me all of the things that I would ask a client. I'm going to do that to myself, and I'm going to answer it very honestly. I'm going to write it all down, and I'm going to look at it as if this person was my client. What would I tell her? And I've been doing that this week, and I've been doing better. And I'm going to continue to do that going forward. And, I'm going to have to drop the past version of me. Like, I'm going to have to treat myself like a client again, which I do all the time. I talked about this on past episodes where I go through my goals. I talk myself through things. I redo my goals and redo my whys and like all of the things. I check in with myself pretty often, but this is just feels different because it's so foreign. I understand my body pretty well. Like I know my body very well. So for me to feel like I'm in someone else's body, like this is so foreign, it does feel really weird and scary, but I'm going to figure it out. So let me get back to the topic at hand. It's not too late. At any moment, we can pick ourselves up and we can change the path. We can change the attitude. We can change the view in front of us. We can change the outlook on the view in front of us. This is not a reason, what I'm going through or how I'm feeling this season or whatever you want to call it, whatever you're going through as well. This is not a reason to roll over and just accept the fate. I don't want you to have excuses like it's too late for me. I'm too old. I'm too sick. I have these different, reasons why I can't show up for myself. I had a message from, I don't remember her name, but I had a message yesterday and she's like, I have all these different things and they were autoimmune and some different reasons why, people are always like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you continue to show up for yourself. And she's just like, I have to, like, it's not an option. Yeah, it would be great to just sit on the couch and think about how sad and how, fucked up it is that my body feels this way. But in reality, I do feel better when I get up and go for a walk and I work out and I eat healthy and I choose better options for myself. Like, you have to live either way. You're going to be on this earth and you're going to struggle with feeling like shit, feeling bad for yourself and making it worse and sulking in that, or you can kind of feel bad and achy and have these, things thrown at you, but you can change how you view it. You can change how you respond to it. And I think that's what I really want to nail down in this episode. And that's what I really want to drill out to you is, I guess, both of these things. It's not too late to start. And we are going to pivot to that. And we are going to move forward into that. But it's also okay to realize that, like, yeah, your body might be different. It might feel different. It might look different. It might not be responding to how it was. It might not, you might have some new food intolerances or allergies, or you're going to develop things, right? Shit is going to happen. Shit is going to be thrown at us. Life is going to suck sometimes. And it's okay to sit there and be like, okay, why is this happening to me? What is going on? I hate this so much. This is how I feel. I feel sad. I feel mad. I feel depressed. I feel anxious. Like, this is so shitty. It's okay to acknowledge that. You don't have to be that overly positive person. I hate toxic positivity. I hate that so much. It's not in my blood to, like, yeah, sure. Like the other day before my workout, I gave myself a hug. I was actually like doing arm circles and quick arm hugs, and I stopped and like hugged myself and looked in the mirror and was like, okay, you deserve this. You're okay. And so that I'll do little things like that. Like, that's fine in the moment. Sometimes in the mirror, I will look at myself and be like, you are loved. You are enough. You are okay. But it's more of a, you are loved. I'm kind of yelling at myself, but toxic positivity, I think, is something that's annoying, and I don't want to get too lost on this. I could actually do an entire episode on this. If you like that idea, shoot me a DM and let me know, because I don't think it's healthy to just dismiss your problems and dismiss your feelings and dismiss everything just to be happy and be, be the light and be positive and be all these, no, I don't like that. So it's not okay to just dismiss how I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling like something's wrong with me. I've told my husband, something's wrong with me. Something's different about me. Something's not right. I have to acknowledge that, but I can't just sit in it and I want to stay in bed. I want to stay in bed and just sleep and rest and lay there. I'm tired. I'm achy. I'm all the things, but I can't do that. Maybe do that for a day, sulk in it, feel it, whatever, right? But then it's not an option to get back up and change how we feel. So I do want to give you the permission to sit in it and feel it all the way through. And then also pick up and pivot and figure it out. What are we going to do going forward? I don't want to be stuck like that. I have to live either way. The days are going to pass. So do I want to look good, feel good, be sexy, feel sexy, kick ass, when I can? Absolutely. Or do I want to just sit back and, let whatever is wrong with me take over? Like, no, it's not an excuse to just roll over and accept the fate. So whatever excuses you have right now, whatever quote unquote reasons you have to not do the thing that you want to do, if you failed at it before, if you're self-sabotaging, whatever it is, literally, it's not reason enough to just roll over and accept the fate, period, right? So we have to move on. For me, yesterday when I woke up, I felt in this way that was like, I'm going to be okay. Like, I'm probably going through perimenopause. It's not going to kill me. It's fine. Everyone goes through it, right? I kind of understand now what's going on. I need to learn about it. It's my job to figure it out, learn about it, educate myself, do what I need to do. It's my job. It was a wake-up call for me to go rather than lay down. I felt like, for me, I said to myself, walking, water, lifting, and macros are no longer an option. I know that this will change. Walking as much as I was before, drinking as much as I was before, lifting like I was before, eating like I was before is not going to work. What worked for me then will not work for me now. I know that because it's currently not working for me. It will be an experiment. It'll be just like with my clients when I'm like, okay, here's your macro targets. We're going to hit them for 4 weeks and reassess. And then we're going to go from there, right? Here's the workouts we're going to start with. We're going to get you consistent. We're going to see what's working and what's not, and we're going to reassess. Just like I do with my clients, I give them a path and I give them grace and I give them a timeline. Like, you have to stick with X, Y, and Z for 4 to 6 weeks before I know what we're going to do next. It will be an experiment with myself. And I want you to do that for yourself too. What worked for you in the past, if it's not working for you now, or what's not working for you now, let's be clear. What's not working for you right now may not, if it's not working for you right now, listen to me kind of work through this. What's not working for me right now, Christy, is clearly not going to work for me going forward. If I keep doing what I'm doing right now and it's not working, it's only going to continue to not work going forward. So something has to change. My friend Haley said yesterday, if we want something different, we literally have to do something different. And we're like, it's not rocket science, like, duh. But then it's just, how do you actually start to do something different, right? So it's all about that action. And I'm working through that as well. I sometimes feel, though, going back to the message, it's not too late to start. You're not a lost cause. You're not too sick. You're not too old. You're not too damaged or too depressed or too anxious or too fat or too lazy or whatever someone's called you or whatever someone's implied to you. You're not broken. You're not any of those things. Like, you're worth it. You are enough. And I know that sounds corny because I hate toxic positivity, so I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true, but you're not broken. Like, you can be fixed. Like, you can adjust, and you just have to pick yourself up and change the view on that. And sometimes we can't pick ourselves up and change the view on our own. I have had to go through therapy. I've had to be very open and honest with my husband and with my friends and with my children, to be honest. Like, I'm struggling and I'm not okay and I can't do this on my own. So my therapist has helped me. Friends have helped me. My husband has helped me. My kids have given me more grace. Thank you. But sometimes you can't do it on your own. So that's what I do for my clients. And if I can't help, I'm like, we need to figure out what else we can do to help, right? You may need a therapist. You may need some kind of different hormonal therapy. You may need a holistic approach, like whatever it is. It's okay to call in reinforcements. If you're like, I actually am not the type of person to just show up and be toxically positive and think that I can do this. If you're stuck in anxiety and depression, you're like, I can't get out of this. There's no freaking way I'm going to survive this. I know, I was there. I had to go to a therapist that helped me see that I could get out of it, that gave me tools to help myself out of it. So you may not be able to do it on your own. And that's okay. So that's the next thing. If you need to be surrounded by different people, if you need to hire someone to help you, if you need to ask for help, like, that's okay. But honestly, if you're not in that desperate of a situation to where you need like therapy and things like that, you may need someone like me to coach you along. You may need a new group of inspiration. Hopefully this podcast alone, I know, is helping so many of you, right? So keep experimenting. Keep these 4 things in mind: walking, water, lifting weights, and macros. Those are the 4 things you need to be consistent with. It needs to be sustainable and it needs to be consistent. And this goes the same for you. This is kind of me talking you through how I'm feeling, but I want it to be relatable. And of course, I want to relate it back to you because this episode is for you. This is the same for you. What worked for you in the past may not work for you going forward. What's not working for you now will certainly not work for you going forward. My clients experience the slow and steady wins, and I love to hear their voice when they message me. I got a message yesterday from my client, and she was talking about how she's seeing these wins, and her brother is seeing that her body looks different, and she's feeling that her body looks different. And she's really seen a difference in these last 5 months that we've been working together when, her mindset made a shift. She made a mindset shift, I should say, to be able to do things differently. And so she's doing amazing. Her name is Christy as well. And she messaged me yesterday, and just hearing it in her voice was like, I heard her being proud of herself, and I heard her struggling a little bit, but I coached her through it, and she is really starting to get it and seeing where she can go long term with this. And these slow and steady wins are what it's all about. And I need to put that into practice for myself. And I want to let you know that I'm doing that for myself. And I also want you to know that it's not too late to start. It's not too late. It's never too late to start. But the sooner you do start, the more time you have, right? Because these aren't quick wins. This isn't going to happen in 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, maybe not even 12 weeks. Like, we have to start now and make these pivots and try these things and these experiments to be able to figure out what's going to work for us long term. So your takeaways from today are, I am right here with you, for 1. And 2, it's not too late to start. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not too anything. It's not too late. You can live your best life going forward. You can make habit changes. You can make huge steps, and you can become fit, and you can become healthy. Like, it's never, ever, ever too late. And when you narrow it down and you really nail down your nutrition and your macros, what works for you personally, you will become a well-oiled machine, and you will experience these wins consistently lifelong. But it's not too late. So whatever you're wanting to do, whether it be something small like starting a podcast, do it. Or whether you want to start your coaching business because you freaking love helping other people, do it. Or whether you want to start eating more protein and lifting weights because you want to look like a badass, fucking do it. It's not too late to start. I hope you love this episode. I will talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to today's show. Go ahead and leave a rating and a review. And of course, follow the podcast so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And I would love it so much if you came to connect with me over on Instagram at Christy Castillo Fit. I will see you next time.